All right, I'm going to demonstrate a push-up variation here. This is on the knees, so it's a little bit of a regression from a regular push-up, but this version is surprisingly intense. So don't think this is just some sort of girl push-up that isn't going to do anything for you. This is actually much more difficult than most of the push-ups that you'll see people do in gyms, because the focus is definitely on the upper body. So this, basically by being on your knees, this takes out the element of core control, where you keep the stiffness and rigidity in your midsection to keep everything in line so that you do a strict technical push-up. Now what this is going to do is this is going to lean your shoulders forward, and you're going to feel the work in the shoulders, and by pulling your elbows in, you should feel this traveling around the space around your armpits and trying to get into the serratus, or to these little muscles that connect to your rib cage to your shoulder blades, and we're trying to make the shoulder blades work. This is surprisingly intense, so you don't need a lot of repetitions of this necessarily, but you need to pay attention to the particulars of the movement to make this work. So try not to get sloppy with this. Try to lean forward as much as you can, and don't worry about how deep you go. If you can't go that deep initially and come down close to the floor, just by approaching this, getting as deep as you can, is how you build strength to actually be able to go further into the movement over time. And I'll show you a way to start to build isometric strength at the bottom of the position, and that can help out quite a bit as well. So setting this up. So basically, you bring your hips over your knees here to start, but the knees come together and the feet come together as well. And this is so that when you bend your elbows, the arms can go back behind, because the hands are going to come in close. Now, rather than coming into a regular all fours, with my wrists under my shoulders and my knees underneath my hips, I'm crunching this in a little bit. I'm just having my hands about one hand's length forward of my knees, but my hands are still shoulder width while the legs are together. Now, you're going to want to turn your hands out to the side, so the middle finger, rather than pointing forward, maybe points 45 degrees to the side. You can take it out to the side a little bit more if you need to, and that'll make this easier on the wrists. But when you set up your hands, spread your fingers wide, dig your fingertips down, and grip the floor. Start with straight arms, shoulders well past the wrists. You should be leaning forward from the beginning, and you're going to start and end in this position. And this is all about maintaining the forward lean as you move. So when you come into this, pull your chest forward. Think about having a back bend in your upper back. So you don't want to just round your spine and just dip down like this. This is going to be, well, nothing actually. You're not putting any effort into the arms. And this is all about maintaining your forward lean. So rather than doing something like this, you're going to pull your chest forward, look forward, think about bringing your chin all the way down to the floor. So you should be looking forward the whole time, and keep the forward lean with the shoulders past the wrists, and then just take it slow. Dig down to the fingertips, shoulders forward, pull the elbows into your sides as they bend. Keep leaning forward, come as low as you can. You can stop here. If you're able, maybe bring your chin down. And then press back up, still with the forward lean, shoulders well past your wrists. And then again, shoulders forward, elbows pulled in. You can stop anywhere. Keep gripping. And then press back up the straight and keep the forward lean. And I'll do 3 more. Shoulders forward with the elbows pulled in. Keep looking forward. Try to bring your chin down. Press back up the straight. Keep the shoulders past the wrists. And then one more time. Shoulders forward. Keep the elbows into your sides. Take it down low. Press back up the straight with the shoulders still forward. And then just relax for a moment. And this is a very intense movement. If you're going to take it slow and engage tension the whole way and keep this controlled on the way down, you're probably not going to need many repetitions before you're pretty gassed out. Go for 5 repetitions, take a couple breaks, and you can break this up into sets of 5. I would recommend doing 3 sets of 5. You could certainly do more than that, but see what you're able to handle. And you're trying to bring the strength into the front of the shoulder. You'll also feel it in the arms, particularly the triceps, but work it as best you can. Now, if you're not able to come down too low, let's say you start here, and then you bring this forward, and you decide you come to this point, and this is just good enough, because you're already leaning forward, you don't want to drop your face to the floor, which is entirely rational. You can stay right here. But keep your elbows pulled in, keep gripping, and then just press back up, keep your shoulders forward. And you can just chip into the movement, just taking it down to where you can handle without collapsing and without having to pull your elbows back. And you'll feel the effort. As long as it still feels like work, even if you're only taking partial repetition or partial range on each repetition, you're doing fine with it. So if you want to start to be able to take this down lower, what you want is to take an isometric hold as low to the floor as you can go. So it's the same setup. Knees together, hands in front of the knees, maybe about one hand's length, and hands are still shoulder width. But this time, keep all your weight back to start. Bend the elbows in toward you. Bring your chest down low. And then stay as low as you can. Bring your shoulders forward well past your wrists. Keep your elbows pulled in. Hold. And keep gripping with your fingers. Keep your gaze forward. Keep the forward lean. You're not looking down. And you should be on the verge of falling down without actually falling. And then just hold here for 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just pull straight back and then take the weight off your hands. And you can do multiple rounds of that isometric hold. You might not come down as low as I did. You might come down lower. It all depends on what you're actually capable of. But again, you want to find a position with as much of that forward lean as you can come into without dropping your face on the floor, and holding with tension, holding for time. If your arms start to shake, that's actually a good sign. It's entirely normal. You just want to be sure you don't collapse. And it's a really good way of building strength in the arms, and in particular in the front of the shoulders. Anyway, hope this helps.